Are you tired of the coffee crash? Still jitter an hour after your morning cup of coffee? Listen, I used to drink 5, 6, 7 cups a day to just keep going. The anxiety, the stomach pains, the afternoon crash, it was brutal. Then I discovered Rise Coffee, and everything changed. Rise has less than half the caffeine as regular coffee, but here's the magic. It contains 6 organic mushrooms, including cordyceps, lion's mane, and others that naturally sustain your energy without the jitters or crash. We're talking sharper focus, immune support, better gut health, and calm, sustained energy that lasts all day. Plus, it's organic, vegan, and has 0 added sugars. Unlike other mushroom coffees, Rise is USA grown in California. A full spectrum of mushrooms per serving that actually works. Here at Pod Nation, we only partner with brands we actually believe in, and Rise Coffee is the real deal. Head to risesuperfoods.com and use promo code PODNA15 for 15% off your order. That's PODNA 15 for 15% off. Ditch the crash, fuel your day the right way with Rise Coffee.
I see ghosts, specters all around me, living a star, blazing the dark. One by one, pictures gather round me. Where those moonflowers used to rust no more. Specters gather round here, living a star, blazing the dark. Night by night, stare into the black where moonflowers used to grow.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Paranormal, the New Normal. I'm your host, as always, Jeremy, here, trying to make the world seem a little more normal. Does it ever really work? Not really. But we try anyway, and we try. But to join me in my perilous quest today, someone I'm very happy to have on, Andrea Ramirez, hypnotherapist and channeler, which you guys all know I love a good hypnotherapist, so this would be a fun conversation. Welcome, Andrea. How's your day going?
Good, thanks, Jeremy. Everything is fine over here. I am from Portugal today.
Okay. That's same time zone or a different time zone?
It's
I'm
a
trying to think
different time zone.
yeah.
It's 3 in the afternoon now. Yeah.
Oh, Portugal, Europe. Duh. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was thinking South America for a hot second. It's early in the morning here, so that's why. But
Well, I'm from Chile. Maybe I gave you the South American vibes.
I have guests from all over the world all the time, so it gets confusing. But boy, yeah, it's early here. I literally just woke up like a half hour ago. But well, the first question I'd like to ask everybody on this show is, what brought you down this path to the spiritual life you're living now?
Well, I've always been, if you would call it spiritual, in a sense that I've always had like metaphysical experiences since I'm a child. Since very, very young. I have seen energies, and I have had astral projections and astral traveling, and I would dream of the things that would happen on the next day. And like when I was growing up, there was a lot of stuff happening in this sense for me. And I thought it was perfectly normal. I thought that was it, that everybody had it, that it was the same for everyone, until I started sharing it with people, and they said, well, that's not normal. And, coming from a country like Chile, these were the 80s, right? And this was during the dictatorship. The country was very gray, and it's very Catholic. So whatever I was sharing in this sense was kind of out there and a little bit scary for other people. But yeah, I've always had these abilities, so to speak.
Well, I mean, and did your family try to like hush you on all this because of the religious upbringing, or did they kind of just tell you like it's okay, but just kind of keep it to yourself?
Yeah, well, kind of like the second part, because the funny thing is that everybody all the women in the family, they all have some sort of gift. Like my grandmother had an insane gift of manifesting, which I used to my favor. Every time I had a test at school, I would tell her, please help me. um, my mom can see through a vase with water. She can kind of see as if it were a TV. She can choose what she wants to see. My
Oh,
aunt,
kind of like
like
crystal ball
remote
type thing.
viewing. Yeah, kind of
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. And my aunt, she would dream everything that would happen the next days or in the future. So then I also have like a great grandmother that she doesn't know how to read, she doesn't know how to write, but she reads the tarot cards like it's nobody's business, and she's highly intuitive. And so then I come in from this line of women, and I have these gifts, and I ask them, like, what's going on? This is perfectly normal, and they're like, just don't share it too much. Um, but that was fun anyway, because everything that was so religious about the upbringing and the society that was so conservative, when you start seeing things and telling people, about what you more or less perceive intuitively, they look at you like, how did you know that, or how did you get that, or why are you telling me this? And so it's kind of fun. It was kind of fun to mess with people.
I can imagine. I can imagine. I think a lot of us kids all thought we had all wanted to have those powers when we were kids because there are certain times in life, especially in young life, when those powers would be very helpful. But yeah, and I mean, see, premonitions like being able to dream and then it comes true. I I had those as a kid to a slight ability. Never anything important. It was always stupid conversations or something that would happen in class the next day. It was never anything that would actually help me. But it just would be like a week. It'd be like 2 weeks later. It'd be like, oh yeah, I dreamt about them talking about that. I don't know why, but okay. It had nothing to do with me. It had nothing to do with me. So I don't get it. But it's yeah. I mean, it's funny because you find that these kind of abilities do pass down maternally in a line of a family line, and it's weird how it does that on the maternal side, and I rarely hear about it on the paternal side, which is I don't know. I mean, women are supposed to have all these extra senses and gifts that men don't have, so it makes sense in some ways, but it's just not always fair.
Yeah,
But
it's interesting because, like it is said that our souls also choose where we want to incarnate. And so I think if we are kind of choosing where we wish to incarnate, we're going to pick a family that's going to kind of help us to, maybe not so much develop, but a place where we're going to get our ass kicked in order to, yeah, develop it in our own way, personally develop your gifts or your curiosity.
yeah, I mean, which okay, that's actually good. You actually just gave me a good segue there. So you're a believer in reincarnation then?
I do. I mean, I'm a channeler. I also channeler is like mediumship, right? So I've also channeled people that have passed the veil. I've also had experiences with regression hypnotherapy and going not only to past lives, but also like past lives on Earth, but also past lives outside of the Earth, like in some other star system or another planet or even a different dimension. So I do believe that everything exists at the same time, like everything is existing now. And through this capacity that we all have, we can develop these gifts and kind of tap into those different realities and tap into those different, uh, let's say, like we have time zones on Earth. We also have like different dimensions and different star systems and different um, realities that we can tap into.
Right, which I mean, you are not. It's actually almost a theme lately because a lot of people have been telling me lately about, pardon me, about past life regressions in different dimensions and in different planets. And I interviewed someone in the last month. I forget exactly when, but she has the ability to basically go into what she calls a mirror room, kind of. It's like stepping into another dimension, and she can see all her alternate lives happening at once.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's been like a theme lately, like that about that. I didn't really start hearing about it until a few months ago, and then all of a sudden, all the guests started bringing that out information to me. And I'm like, okay, This is the way it happens. This is how I find out new information. Is everybody starts talking about it at once. It's like I'm channeling the information almost, but I'm not a channeler by any freaking means. So I'm not gonna say I am, but it just happens to work that way. Synchronicity, it just happens.
Yes.
But so when did you? So you were able to do all this since you were a child, but when did you actually decide to start pursuing a career in it?
In 2008, I got really very sick. Like I got misdiagnosed for the first 6 months of the year. And by the time I went to the ER, I was like 3 days away from kidney failure. I had lost a lot of blood. I had the worst autoimmune flare up for ulcerative colitis. I was like dead. And I spent a month in the hospital. And it's funny because before I went to the hospital, like at the beginning of the year, I tried to visualize what's going to happen ahead. And I saw the months of the calendar, and I saw them by the time it was June or July, that the dates started fading away. And there was just a dot of light. And I thought, am I going to die? Because I was like, okay, I didn't know the year only stops until there. Maybe that's all they want me to see. But when I had that situation that I was very, very close to dying, it kind of gave me the time to think and reflect and to actually make the decision to share these gifts with people that might find it helpful. And this is why I kind of just started. And I think the ultimate kick was COVID, because this is when a lot of people really were looking for meaning and to make sense of their lives. And I felt really good that I could actually put this out there, to help people.
Which, I mean, it's funny because it comes back to COVID a lot. Like, COVID, as horrible as it was for a lot of people, it also changed the world for slightly a better way because more and more people had time they never had before to start exploring all the possibilities of this type of thing, of the spiritual world existing, of the spiritual awakening happened during COVID. Whether it was supposed to or whether it was not supposed to, that's a debate. But it happened, and now more people. I mean, a lot of people discovered their gifts during COVID, and that's the great thing. I've interviewed so many people who COVID awoke them, and because they had time to take classes online from people such as yourself or other great teachers in the spiritual side of the world, and it just, I don't know, it changed things. It's just strange, the synchronicity of how much COVID did for this world. It really is. But
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
good and bad, good and bad, good and bad. It but it definitely has some good in it. So I'm not gonna ever talk fully bad about it. But I guess the next question I would have to ask based on that is, well, actually, let's get into the channeling part a little bit, because how do you work the channeling into the hypnotherapy? That's kind of what I'm curious
Yeah.
about.
Well, I like to channel before I go into the hypnotherapy session to see if there is any extra intel that source needs to share with me about the case that I'm going to take on. And also, it helps me in a way to see how to conduct the session, the hypnotherapy session, because you have a higher and deeper connection with the person and the situation they're living. So when it comes to change work during the hypno session, you can actually make it more meaningful for the person. And the more meaningful it is for the person, the better the session will turn out. The more change is going to be achieved. So the person will profit more from the session when it really touches a personal part of them that maybe is not necessarily discussed during the formal session.
Okay. I mean, so basically, it's a good tool. It's a good aid to help really figure out what this person needs help with. Which what kind of clients do you typically get? Like, are they clients looking for help in love, in business, in finances? Like, what do you usually get?
I mostly get people that are like entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that are in managing positions in companies, founders. It's basically people that work for themselves. And I also get people that have had loved ones that have passed, even pets that have passed, because I love to channel pets. and and yeah, they're all coming because they realize that whatever it is that they learned of the ways of the world and the business, they realize that there is something else that is completely out of their control that they need to tap into in order to bring that success, so to speak, right? That abundance in their lives through their business. And so it's very nice. It's a very nice work because you never know on in which way source is going to come and deal with the situation, source energy. But every time we share and we have our sessions, it's nice because I don't remember everything I say. I mostly forget right after.
Of course.
But the people seem to be very grateful for the interaction.
And see, I love people that work with like whether they be pet mediums or pet psychics. Like I love people who work with pets because it's always I don't know. It'd be cool. It'd be amazing to me and just plain cool to be able to channel someone's dog or someone's like cat. Like it's who doesn't love to see like a dog come through? Like, have you ever channeled any pets that were on like the stranger side of things? Like not the normal like household pets.
Well, I channel my own pet, by the way.
Oh,
So when
really?
she's a bit sick or when we see that she's a little bit iffy, we channel her, we ask her how she's doing. And in this way, I came to understand how they actually feel in their bodies when they're sick. And it's so amazing because usually when they're not feeling well physically, when they're ill, it's like their energy detaches the body so they don't have to suffer completely the pain or what's going on. So it's really interesting. They know that their hardware, so to speak, is not working well, but the software kind of detaches a little bit. It's really interesting. And I once had to channel a cat that went lost. Nobody knew where he was, and so unfortunately he didn't make it. He was attacked by a coyote apparently, and he
Uh,
was hiding in a house, like under a house. And I was like, oh my God, am I, because I still gaslight myself sometimes, like, is this really happening? And then another lady also channeled the cat, and the cat said the same thing, and they showed her the same thing. So I was like, okay, yeah, that's all right. Um, but yeah, when it comes to channel them, they are so very sweet, and they are so very willing to come and talk and share what's happening with them. And they have like zero filter personality. They will tell you exactly what they want, what they like, what they don't like, and they will exactly what you should do. They are like fabulous. I really really love them. I really love to channel them.
I mean, it seems more interesting. I mean, I feel like if you channel a pet, you're going to get a lot of joy. I feel like if you channel a human, a lot of times there's grief, there's despair, there's depression because it's a lot of humans you're channeling don't know what is happening or why it's happening. While pets, it's always been said, animals always been said to have more of a spiritual presence than humans have. So, I
Yeah,
mean, it seems like it would be a better time for the channeler, at least. I
yeah.
mean, at least in my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah,
I can't
it's
do it.
also different when you channel a person that is alive, like a living person, than when you channel someone who has passed. Because you can tell immediately the change that happens when the person leaves the 3D consciousness to go into a different plane. It really changes the tone and the experience, the whole experience is completely different. It's very different.
I imagine. I mean, I I've had pet psychics on here who have worked with like they live down south in America, so they worked with like alligators, they worked with snakes and like all these weird things, and it's always interesting. I mean, I guess I actually it's funny because a lot of them always say the most interesting animal they ever work with is a fish because
Oh,
the way fishes' minds worked are like so unique and strange. It's like you have to. It's just all pictures basically, but like a lot of animals. But you have to kind of like put a puzzle together to figure out what the heck they're saying even. So I guess that's always what I've been told at least. But so you mentioned something on your page about the DeMartini method, which I never heard of this. So I'm kind of dying to know
mhm.
what it is.
Yes, well, it's not very metaphysical in a sense. Dr. DeMartini, he created this thing called the breakthrough experience. And it's an experience that you do on a weekend, over the weekend, with a facilitator. And you have to choose. I mean, everybody comes with their own things that they want to work on. Some people want to work on love, others on business, others on health, etc. And so you choose something that you want to work on, and then you start with the help of the facilitator going through the work. So it's 2 days. The first day, it's very working with the mind. You work a lot with the mind. So it's specific. It's very, very good for people who are kind of detached from their emotional world, because the first day you work a lot through the mind, but then the second day, after you have done the mind work, you immediately go into the heart. It's like you can't help it. It's so nicely designed that it takes you to your heart space. And the second day is working from the heart. And it's called breakthrough because it's literally like a metamorphosis happening from one day to the next. And it is so powerful. It's very good if you're looking to clarify your mission and vision in the world, or with your business, with your life, with anything that is like your role as a parent, as a husband, or whatever. I mean, if you feel lost in life, and you don't want to tap into your emotional world because there has been a lot of trauma, a lot of unhappiness, whatever, I would totally recommend it, because although it's very, very extremely intense, it is something that will change your life.
Hmm. I, actually, that actually sounds like something I wouldn't mind working on. But good. I mean, I like to think I'm in touch with my emotions, but I also know that's a fat lie sometimes, and I just kind of shut them down because you have to in life
Yeah.
sometimes to get through the day. So, but I mean, it sounds like something that everybody should experience in their life at least once or twice, just to help them reconnect.
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly. And with a helpful guide, because sometimes, like, I know for a fact that I've been disconnected, or I was disconnected for many years from my emotional world, and I filter the world around me and my reality through my mind, because I did not want to tap into that Pandora's box, But if you have people that can help you with it, then it changes, because you realize that what you thought was your greatest grief or your greatest wound, it's your actual superpower, you know? There's a lot of
yeah,
power to be realized from that.
I mean, yeah, you need to be connected to your emotions and to your mind, especially if you want to do any kind of manifestation or anything like that. You need to be. I mean, you can't just if you're not connected and you're just hoping that something's going to happen for you, then it's not going to happen because you're not going to be showing your true intent. You're going to just be living a falsehood, which to me is, I mean, well, to anybody that just wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. I mean, I actually am decent at manifesting things I want because I've been doing it for so long without even knowing it, and it's just so. I mean, I like to say I'm a little bit of an expert on that because I can actually make it work. And I was talking to a manifestation expert earlier this week, and she straight up said, she's like, you can't go asking just the universe to give you money. You have to have intent. You have to, what's the money for? Why do you want this to happen? Like, you can't just ask, like, give me money. No, you have to say, I need money to do this to my house. And then I'm going to see this type of construction truck. Every time I see this type of construction truck, I know it's going to happen eventually. Like, you have to have signs. You have to have signs. But it's not, the universe isn't going to just drop a check for $5,000 into your lap. I'm sorry, it doesn't work that way. I
Yeah,
wish, but it
exactly.
doesn't.
It would be
My life,
wonderful.
my life would be so much easier if it did. But it's just not the way life works. I mean, it really just isn't. But well, actually, So something I'm good at. So something I suck at is meditation. So how important is
Mm.
meditation to what you do? How important is meditation to you?
Well, it's very important, meditation, because you need to create space in your mind in order to allow information to come in, and also allow yourself to connect more with your intuition and with what you're feeling and everything that is happening around you in your field and in other people's field, and to tap into the quantum field and to get what's resonating there. So I always say for people that have trouble with meditation, because we're all taught like, okay, meditate. Now you sit down, quiet 5 minutes, eyes closed, try not to think about anything. And like that never works, especially in our
Nope.
world now. It's just insane. The amount of information that we have around it is crazy. So what I always say, it's something that I called meditation supplements. That when you are having a moment that you're having a coffee, enjoy that moment of savoring, that moment when you could just close your eyes, taste the coffee, swallow the coffee. In that moment, in those seconds, 2 3 seconds, there's no thoughts in your mind, your feelings are at ease, you feel good. Those are, to me, supplements, meditation supplements. So every time that you have a moment that is for yourself, take a supplement. Take those 2 3 5 seconds, 10 seconds, many different times throughout your day, to savor and to kind of close the tabs in the computer of your mind, and only focus in that one activity that you're doing with your senses. And you're going to see how your mind is going to shut up immediately. And the more you practice this savoring moments, one day meditation is going to come naturally to you. Walking is also really very good, like a walking meditation. If you can walk around your house barefoot and just focus very, very much on what's happening in the feeling of your feet, on the face of your feet, this is very, very important, because through your senses, through your body, you can access that place of silence, and your mind will have to shut up. And it happens, it's like an accumulation of many seconds throughout your day, that it's the equivalent of a nice meditation by the end of your day.
See, I know it's not the healthiest way to do it, but I tend to do that during the day at work when I'm out on my cigarette breaks. Like I don't,
Yeah,
I'll start one during my day. I won't even take my phone out of my pocket. I'll just leave it in my pocket. I'll just sit there, smoke my cigarette, and just kind of become one with nature and the world for like 2 3 minutes while I smoke a cigarette. And it
exactly.
kind of works. It's not exactly the
That's
healthiest method to meditate, but it is what it is.
that's a meditative moment. That's a moment that your mind is switching off, and those are minutes or seconds of silence that are very welcomed in your system, in your nervous system, in your neural nets, whatever, to help you have more clarity, and just to move on with your day, and to be more creative, and eventually more intuitive as well.
It is. I mean, it definitely. I have come up with some of my best ideas for podcasting, for things going on in my own personal life, while having a cigarette and just clear my mind. And I'll just be like, "Ooh, I should do this. I should do that," and it works usually. I'm like, because someone told me a while ago, like a year ago on the show, that you don't have to actually just go sit in a room and be in a quiet room and meditate for like a half hour. Like that's not the way it works. And I'm like, really? Everybody always said that's the way it works.
The people that say that that's the way it works are probably trying to sell you some course or something.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that out there in the world nowadays, where just people trying to sell you courses, which I try not to get those people on my show, but sometimes it happens. But you can't always know what a person's intentions are before you get them on. But it works. I don't know. It works. But so, all right, you mentioned earlier, and I didn't want to jump right into this because I like to leave this a little bit towards the middle segment to keep people listening. Um, so you said you've had past life regressions with people on other planets.
Mhm.
any particular like was there any particular plants that stood out or any particular races that stood out that you saw during these regressions?
Well, there are many from the Sirius star system. There are many from other star systems that are very interesting because it's like you cannot pronounce the name, but they show you the star.
Uh,
And many of us are starseeds,
yep.
and not necessarily from one star system, but we are hybrid. So we could be from many different star systems, kind of bred throughout different star systems in order to be able to incarnate on Earth. Because sometimes those people that are like 100% Syrian, for example, they might have trouble when they incarnate on Earth with their health in different aspects. And so, in this sense, it's really interesting that I don't know if it's always been like that, but it seems like now all these conversations are coming up more and more people are wanting to know where their star system that they're coming from. And in my case, it helped me a lot because all my life I felt really lonely, that I didn't belong here, that I wanted to go home, but I didn't know where home was. And so I grew up like even well into my 20s, I was completely like in despair. I did not know um, why I was on Earth. And I mean, you function, you do all these things and still, but I wanted to go home. I felt like I was like an alien. And then one day, this lady, she facilitated a regression for me. And instead of going to a past life on Earth, I went straight into space. and and then they started coming to me and talking to me, and they call themselves the golden ones. And if you google the golden ones, you're going to see lots of references from the 50s and 60s in comics. There used to be a comic that was called the golden ones that actually David Bowie liked very much because it was also a starseed. But the
Yep.
way that it has been translated into the human 3D in order, I guess, to sell as well, it's completely different from their actual nature. And so when the golden ones came to talk to me, they showed me my body, how it actually looks. And it's like one part is from them, the other part is from another star system, another part is from another star system. And so, and then is the understanding that we're all kind of different, but we decided to come here on Earth to because Earth is like the pearl of the universe. Everybody wants to come to Earth, although it's the most difficult place to
I was
be.
gonna say, why do you want to
But
come here? Like,
I know, I guess we're all like, oh, but there is cake, you know. We're like, okay. But like we all want to come here because the Earth is it's a very special place in the universe. There is free will, something that does not happen in any other star system, in any other planet. And so very much of what happens on Earth influences what happens elsewhere in different timelines, in different realities, in different dimensions. So when people go through that experience of reconnecting with the star lineage, there is really meaning brought into their lives, like it happened to me. And it's very beautiful to see because then you see they also start awakening their more intuitive gifts. And it's just great. It feels that the antennas get activated, and so you can draw more light into the planet.
exactly. And I mean, I just had something and I completely freaking lost it. Oh, it's funny though, because like people like always like said like ask me like why do you think Earth hasn't been invaded yet? Why do you think like aliens haven't made their presence known on Earth? I'm like, oh, they have to those who they think deserve to know. They don't show themselves to everybody because they know we're a backwoods dirtball planet that can't function enough to freaking handle that news. We see what happens when we have a freaking election coming and people riot against each other. Like, and that's just fun between humans. Imagine if there's another species completely come to this planet that has more technology and everything else, and that could destroy us probably within a snap of their finger.
Yeah,
And
exactly. And then you wonder why they haven't destroyed us yet, right?
because we're not worth it, we're not worth destroying.
There,
Because then, well,
there is a
it's a truth.
purpose. There is a purpose to all of us on Earth to evolve and elevate us. So obviously, in the plane that we are, we have people from the whole spectrum, from a very low level of consciousness to a very high level of consciousness, everything in between. And then we have the powers that are in place, that are set in place, that are governed by people that don't have a very high level of consciousness and want to keep the humanity sleeping. Because for the moment that we fight each other, for the moment that we are in need, for the moment that we're in despair, from the moment that we're sick, we are very easy to manipulate. And whatever they say, it has to be done. So I think for them, the more that we awake to our gifts and to our true nature that is beyond human, and what a privilege it is to be human, the level of consciousness in the planet changes. And then it's like a quantum effect. It's like a domino effect. With enough people that are reaching that new level of awakening, the people that are in the lower consciousness stratosphere, they also start to get curious, and they also start to come around. Now, this is happening. The thing is, we're bombarded with bad news everywhere, because the purpose is to keep our consciousness low, to keep us in fear. Guilt, fear, and shame is the first three drivers that even church used during centuries to keep us trapped in a lower state of consciousness. And although the Roman Empire does not exist, it exists in the form of what the Vatican has created, and it all has transpired through the political powers of the world. So I think we should wake up to have a more critical view of what's actually happening, because it cannot be that the news are scripted across TV channels. It cannot be that suddenly one year all the movies kind of talk about the same thing. It's like they're spoon feeding us programming for us to stay stuck in this lower level of energy loop,
Oh yeah, I mean you're 100% correct. I am as all my listeners will know, already know this. I'm completely against organized religion because I believe that it is what has been keeping us in chaos and keeping us basically in slavery for the last thousands of years since it got created. I mean, before religion, we were a more spiritual people. We looked to the sky for answers, but we weren't looking for answers from a god. Gods maybe, but we weren't looking for an answer. And these gods that actually supposedly showed themselves back then were most
Yeah,
likely just
and
extraterrestrials.
those
Yeah,
guys told us that God was inside of us,
yeah. I mean, basically, and it's just once Christianity started, once Catholicism started, like it was the downfall. It was the dark times, like because they brought us down. Like, oh, you have to do this. You have to do what we tell you. And the supposed book that got written by about a god and about his son was changed so many times over the last thousands of
Yeah.
years by different kings and queens that it doesn't even reflect what it truly was supposed to say in the beginning, because they didn't like not having power, so they made it look like that they had the power. The church has the power. So I mean, it pisses me off to no degree. And I love saying that
Yeah.
on a Sunday morning. I love saying that on a Sunday morning when a lot of people are in church right now. I just love saying that. So, but it's just I don't know. It's just I am against religion for that reason alone. I can never really go attend a church every week again because of my awakening to realize that these things years ago. Like it's just the history is just there to back it up, basically.
Yeah, exactly. I think sometimes religion serves as a bridge for people that are looking for awakening, but once they're awake, they can't go back to religion ever. So I think religion has its good thing because it might help people that are looking for something, and once the people awake, they will leave the organization because they will realize that that is not real spirituality. There's no power there.
Exactly. I mean, there isn't, and it's humans need to realize they have the power. It's inside them that if they want to connect to the universe, to the great source, whatever you want to call it, that it's out there and you can connect to it just by doing the work yourself. You don't need to go put money in a offering just to get that. No, no. Save your
Yeah.
money. Put in your own. I'll put in your own offering for yourself. But
Yeah,
uh,
exactly. Put a nice offering for yourself, take care of yourself, have some nice food, some treatment, something nice, and then this will also help you move forward in your consciousness evolution.
exactly, and that's why spirit is so important because we have to be able to connect with the spirits of those that passed on. We could be able to connect with our own spirit to freaking. I mean, we all have. I'm a full believer in the fact that we all have our own guardian spirits, our own guardian angels, if you want to use that word. But we all have spirits that look out for us on a daily basis, and that's why we don't die. That's why we don't die on a regular basis. We may have close calls, but we don't. If you
Yeah.
when you don't hit that car in front of you because your brakes decide to work in time, then guess what? That's because something's watching out for you. That's not because your car is magically started to work again. No, that's because something's looking out for you. That car didn't go through that red light because something's looking out for you. So I mean, it's just, I mean, it happens. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes things happen and they can't control it. But I mean, there's a lot of things out there that are watching out for us and making sure we don't just die on a daily basis. And I respect that. I mean, how important do you think spirit is?
Oh, I think it's paramount. I think the spiritual reality is their reality, and everything else it's a projection of what's happening in our spirit world. So if you take care of your spirit, if you take care of your soul, if you take care of your emotional world, your mind, if you take care of your physical body, you will start manifesting a different reality in the world. The world is going to change, like this is what I always say. If you say we live in a like some person said, very famous person said, the world is a terrible, terrible place. I do not want to know how the every day-to-day life of that person looks like, because that means this person has decided that the world is a terrible place and terrible things can happen, and terrible things probably happen to this person all the time. So, but if I decide that Earth is a wonderful place full of miracles, I'm going to have the most wonderful people showing up for me. I'm going to have miracles happening in my life. And even though there is a lot of suffering in the world, there will be more attention and energy put into the goodness and hope and the possibility of change for the better than we're all going to die and this is it. That's the end of it, or
Exactly.
Earth, it's the worst place or whatever.
Exactly. I agree. I mean, it's you can't be a pessimist and then expect life to work out for you. You have to be the optimist. You have to thinking positive has such power to it. And I didn't realize this for a long time. It's all throughout my 20s. I was such a pessimist. I always thought the worst thing that could happen will happen. And guess what? A lot of times it did because that's the way I thought. I had to I had to really wake up and start thinking that things were going to work out for me. And then once I did, manifestation started working. Fate kind of started looking out for me. If I was worried about how I was going to get my car fixed when it broke down, guess what? Somehow something happened and I got a little bit of extra money and I was able to fix my car. So, I mean, it's all about your mindset in the world and how you do things. It's all about your mindset. I mean, you have to be able to think positive and then positive things will happen. If you are just going to be a negative, pessimistic person, then you're not going to have good things happen to you. You're going to have bad things happen to you.
Exactly.
Uh,
You have to think that we're like magnets, like if we're a magnet that is in the negativity and that everything is bad and horrible and terrible, I'm gonna track that. I'm gonna track more of that. I'm gonna magnetize that into my life. But if I'm a magnet and I magnetize myself into the positive stuff, then I'm going to attract the goodness of life to me, you know?
Exactly. I mean, you attract what you are. That line has always stuck out to me.
Yeah,
It
like
always
attracts like. We're vibration.
exactly. I mean, it's important. It really is. But so I got to ask about this guy. I saw it on your page, and I saw your
Is that a
co-founder of it.
bunny?
Yes, this is my
Oh,
mascot, Snickers.
I love it. Oh my God. So cute.
Yeah, he is about 4 months old.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's gorgeous. Oh, that's beautiful.
All right, Snickers, you can stay. It's okay. I guess. Yeah, but so I was going to ask, the company you co-founded, Magical Audios. I wanted to give you a chance to talk about that and just hear more about what you guys do.
Well, thank you for giving me the opportunity to share it because it's a project that is very much from the heart. It's created, we're three founders, three women, and we all come from different walks of life, but we agreed that we need to help women. We need to help women with their mental health, with their emotional health, with their physical health, and we want to do it through self-hypnosis. So Magical Audios, it's an app for women. It's a self-hypnosis app and meditation app to help women overcome burnout, anxiety, to deal with the different stages in life that women go through, and also to heal from experiences from the past, and to build up resilience, to build up confidence. Magical Audios, it's called like that because when you practice self hypnosis, and when you practice it enough, it's like magic. Magic starts happening in your life, changes start happening in your life, and you start seeing life through different eyes and feeling life different. And you become different, you become better, a better you. And so right now we're having a 7-day burnout program, which has been super successful, and we got super good feedback from it. And it's really great because once you have it, it's with you for always. You can repeat it as many times as you want. And then we will be launching two more, one for confidence and anxiety, also a 7-day program. And then we will have a 7-day program for insomnia, for beating insomnia, which is a big deal with women, especially during perimenopause and menopause. And we're like super thrilled that we can share this. And I would like to invite every woman that is listening now to go to magicalaudios.com and check it out. There's lots of freebies for you to try if you've never tried hypnotherapy before. And we're really looking forward to help as many women as we possibly can.
Well, that's beautiful. Women helping women. I love it. I really do. Because I mean, I like this. I like to say things have changed and that women are equals nowadays, but I know I'd be lying if I actually said that, and that it's still not 100% true. So, anytime I could promote anything that helps women, I am more than willing to help promote that because it's definitely needed in this world.
Yes, yes, there is definitely a need to cater for women, especially because the whole world, even the job schedules are built around the circadian rhythm of a male body.
Yep.
So our circadian rhythms, our periods and everything, they're completely different. They're 28 days long, but a man has a 24-hour long period. So imagine that for us, the world comes with a little bit of an extra burden because we need to fiddle and adjust ourselves to a world that works in a 24-hour cycle over a cycle of 28 days with all the ups and downs that brings.
Yeah, I mean, it truly is. It's still built around the world's still built around men a lot, and it's not the way it should be. It should be made for both. It really should. I mean, you see more equality coming every day, kind of in ways, but it's just not. Yeah, I don't know. It's not something that I see as fully changed. I mean, it's not as bad as it was 50 years ago. No way in hell. But it's still
Yeah.
just not.
I
It's not.
see
It's
it.
not.
I
Not
see it more
100%
like
there.
an equality built by men for women. So it really
Exactly.
isn't women friendly.
It isn't. No, I mean, because it's built by men just to kind of shut people up, which is not a solution to anything. You don't just try to shut people up. You try to work with them and try to collaborate with them,
Yeah,
or
there's
you
a
should.
big
You should be. You
difference
should
when
be at
you
least.
it's a big difference when you work with a team of men and a team of women. The level of collaboration and willingness to ask questions and share, it's a completely different thing. It's two different worlds. It's true.
It is. It really is different. I mean, I've had female bosses. I've had male bosses, and let me tell you, the female ones are a lot more understanding, a lot more willing to work with you. The male ones just basically do what you're told type people. So it's a difference. It's a huge difference. It's a world of difference. But so I was actually poking around your site, and I saw that you do work with one of my favorite things in the world, which is Reiki. I am
Yes.
I am a huge believer in Reiki since I worked with a Reiki master last year for a good 6 months, and something I never thought actually was a real thing and worked blew my mind and had me literally like coming out of it in like tears and everything. I was like, oh my god, like I could feel things I never thought I could feel in my life. So it was. I like to bring it up the show whenever I get a chance because I'd like to promote it fully. It's an amazing. I don't want to say rich. It's an amazing practice. Like Reiki is an amazing practice that can help anybody. How do you work in? How do you work it into your work?
I usually do it remotely. And so, for example, because I like to put everything together, I like to do the hypno part. The person that does the hypno with me, they take their own recording. And then if we agree to do like the full thing, I also agree to send them Reiki every night or 3 times a week before they go to sleep. And so it's really cool because you're working with your subconscious, but you're also working with your energy. And this creates changes in a way that is just so wonderful. It kind of amplifies everything. I mean, Reiki, it feels great. I mean, you have tried it, right? Reiki feels wonderful. And Reiki
It does.
is also a way of channeling energy through us. So whether you are sending the energy or receiving the energy, this is also helping you in your consciousness evolution. You are kind of connecting with the source energy, the same energy that moves the planet, the same energy that makes the plants grow. That's Reiki, and you are being a channel of it. So it's wonderful.
It is. I mean, you literally come out of it feeling like you're floating. You literally come out of it feeling like you're a different person. It may not. It may not last long, depending on what you have to deal with when you come out of it. But pardon me. But it does. You come out of it so different, and I'm a huge fan of it now. I didn't think. I thought it was all kind of like. I
Yeah,
don't know.
you think it's woo woo until it's not, until
Whoa,
you
whoa.
try it
That's
and you're like, wow.
why did I wanted to say hooey fooey, but I don't know why. But yeah,
Woo
yeah,
woo.
yeah. It was one of those things I thought was like a woo woo thing until I actually experienced it, which is why everybody should experience it because then you'll realize it's a real thing. It works. I did it remotely too. I mean, that's the way we did it was like through Zoom, and God, it works through Zoom. Like
Works. You'll feel it.
you don't have to be in the same room. You don't have to be in the same state even. Like it just works.
Because time
It
and
works.
space don't exist. They're placed in our dimension so we understand our reality, but they don't exist. So all the energy work can be done. It doesn't matter how far, it works.
It does. It really does work, and it's incredible how it does work. But then I saw you mention something I haven't really had much experience with, and I was kind of curious about it. What exactly is color therapy?
Color therapy. So if you think of color, each color has a vibration. We can see color because our eyes and our brains, electromagnetic brain is set so we can see a certain range of color. And then because each color has a vibration, that vibration matches with an effect that it can have in our body, for example. So you wouldn't paint a bedroom red because maybe you don't sleep well. because the vibration of the red is too much for what your body needs when sleeping. It needs to be soothed, it needs to be relaxed. And so maybe you use blue. But for example, red is used or thought about like a hot color, and blue like a cold color. So, but it's just a color. Why do we put these attributes to them? So, color therapy can be used, for example, if you're having physical pain, you can put the color on the person with a light and also with an infrared light, and
Okay.
the vibration of the color will get into the tissue of the person, and it will help with healing. It will help if you have like a stiff shoulder, or if you're healing like from a surgery, for example. If you're having pain, if you're in pain, also color therapy can help a lot, especially if you point it in certain meridians of the body. If you combine color therapy with other physical therapies, the power of it multiplies. But also, if you are wearing certain colors, you will see how your mood changes, how your energy transforms. So, this is why it's important for us to spend at least 10 minutes in the sunlight, because that light has all the colors in one. And then we're basically giving ourselves a beautiful shower of all the color, all the vibrational energy, goodness that our physical body and our electromagnetic body needs. So it's very healing to use color in your environments, in your even with the foods you eat. If you have, for example, red plates, it has been seen that people that eat from red plates enjoys their food more and eat more food than those who were given food on blue plates. The people that ate from blue plates, they didn't enjoy their food as much and they didn't eat as much. And it's the exact same food. It's just two different background colors. So that's the power of it. If you go to a restaurant and it's completely blue, maybe your appetite will go away. But if you go to like an old Italian restaurant with checked white and red tablecloth, it gives you like a different feeling. You already feel like you're going to enjoy the food. So it's all vibrational. It's all vibrational, how our electromagnetic body picks it up and how our brain picks it up.
And actually, I mean, it's funny. These are the type of things that you don't think about until someone actually explains them. Then you're like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. Because who doesn't go into an old school Italian restaurant with that type of pattern and all of a sudden get starving? Like you could eat a pound of pasta.
Exactly. Your stomach start going rock immediately as soon as you sit down because you get hungry.
It makes sense. I mean, because colors do impact how our brain works as well. And I mean, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, try to think. And I'm like, my room's painted. Our bedroom's kind of painted blue, but we sleep fine in it. But I mean, well, most nights. But I did sleep best for years in a room that was painted half blue, half orange. So
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
I slept.
I also have blue in my room because it's really soothing.
Yeah, actually, it was funny because I picked out the orange side, but I don't know. Orange has always had a special effect on me. It always been my favorite color for a reason. But it just, I don't know. Maybe it's because it's a mixture of the whole was it yellow and red, I think. But so I mean, that makes sense in a way, kind of. I guess I don't know. There's a lot of what ifs with color therapy. I think, at least from what I'm understanding, there could be a lot of what ifs. I mean, it's interesting though that honestly, you could do a whole college course on that, and it probably wouldn't still teach it all. But that's wow. Okay, mind blown. That's a perfect way to that's a perfect way to end the show right there because my mind got blown and I freaking love when that happens. So thank you so much for coming on, Andrea. Where can people find you? Where can they find everything you do? Just promote yourself to the fullest.
Yes. So you can go to my website, andreahypno.com or fortunaliving.org, or go to my Instagram, Fortuna Living Spirit. And for the women that would like to try self-hypnosis as a way of healing and improving their lives, they can go to magicalartist.com. I'm also there. You can also contact me through there. And I thank you very much for letting me share this.
Oh, of course. It's been my honor to have you on. And of course, listeners, all those links will be posted right in the description, so you can go ahead and click and go. But until next time, folks, you all know where you can find me. If you don't by now, just Snickers says, shame on you all. But check the outro. It's there for all listeners. All the watchers, it's been on the bottom of the screen the whole time. Come on, read. Even I'm awake at this point, and it's only been, I've only been awake for an hour, so jeez. But yes, I will be back this week with more interviews for you guys to enjoy. And Andrea, thank you for coming on. It's been a pleasure talking
Thank
to you
you.
for the hour. And have a good Sunday, everybody, no matter how late the date is, wherever you're watching. Have a good one.
Listen, here's the truth. If it's not something you love to do, automation is mandatory. You didn't start your podcast to spend hours editing clips. You started it to create, connect, and grow your audience. But here's the problem. Every other platform works with video podcasts, and manual editing eats up your most valuable asset, your time. That's where Opus Clip changes everything. Upload your video, and Opus Clip will automatically find the gold nugget moments, auto-clip the captions for the best parts, perfect for TikTok, Reels, and Shorts. 1 hour-long episode becomes 10, 20, even 30 viral-ready clips in minutes. The tool even predicts each clip's viral potential, so you know exactly what to post. No more tenuous editing, no more wasted hours, just you staying in the place that you love to be, creating content that matters. Head to podnationopus.com for your free trial and get back to doing what you do best. Stop editing and start creating now.
You can find me on Facebook as Jeremy Bryant, or you can find me as Uncensored, Unapologetic, and Untamed UQ Podcast Collective Facebook group. You can find me on Twitter and the Instagram as @JuggaloBastard, or should I say X now. And you can find me on TikTok as @JuggaloBastard Podcast. You can also find me on YouTube as Paranormal The New Normal. And you can also find me streaming on YouTube as Blind Knowledge Network, because all knowledge is blind until they admit Bigfoot exists.